Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Saturday, October 12th, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 2024. A naked eye comet is visible just around dusk at sunset. Look to the west and find Venus, and that comet will be making its way higher and higher above the horizon as the week continues. We also have a large earthquake today, 6.2 magnitude off the coast of Costa Rica. No major damages. Keep calm. It's boom time. Florida digs out and recovers after Hurricane Milton. Take a look at that photo. Holy macaroni. Florida's barrier islands were hit the hardest, and they are reeling from a double whammy as Hurricane Milton follows Helene. Now, despite grave losses, many residents say they would rather rebuild than leave their picturesque homes. That is a little insane. Take a look here. Cars seen buried in the sand after Hurricane Helene made landfall in Treasure Island on Florida. And let's take a look.
Station.
My daughter, man, she just started screaming through the house, and I jumped up, and when I ran out, the same time I ran out, the door come flying to meet me, man.
And heartache along the beach. A multi-year rebuild stunted again by a hurricane.
It's heart-wrenching to have to keep going through this, but in all honesty, like all of our friends are here on this block. I think we all give each other the strength to continue.
On the streets of Fort Myers Beach, evacuated for days, Mayor Dan Allers showing us what it looks like this morning. Storm surge saturating the same neighborhoods devastated 2 years ago by Hurricane Ian.
We're an island of doers. These things punch you in the gut, but you just pick up. We've had some residents that this is the fourth time they'll be rebuilding their house.
This is an example of one of the homes rebuilt after Hurricane Ian. And while it might not look that bad, you have to consider it was sitting on a 12-foot pylon and came all the way down off its foundation.
Barrier islands up and down Florida's coast, often the most vulnerable to violent winds and surging waters. Many still inaccessible, but authorities have shared pictures of buckled roads on Captiva Island and homes burning on Matlacha, an archipelago of paradise, all evacuated.
They left, they listened, and now we'll hopefully within a day or day and a half, 2 days at the most, be able to get them back into their homes where they could start rebuilding again.
Sam Brock, NBC News, Fort Myers Beach, Florida.
What an absolute tragedy the whole thing is. Still millions, a million.
It looked like someone brushed a...
Oh my goodness. Still over 1 million without power earlier today. Let's refresh this and see how the linesmen are doing. 1.2 without power currently, still in Florida. Prayers go out to all those affected. And it's devastating in Asheville as well, all that flooding, and they're bracing for peak season without visitors. Asheville's small business depends on fall and the fall color to sustain them during quieter months. Well, Hurricane Helene changed everything. Take a look at that. But there are still parts of western North Carolina you can get into. And if you can get in, support North Carolina. Those regions include Blowing Rock, North Carolina, Bryson City, Cashiers, Cherokee, and the Highlands, as well as Silva. And we will leave you links below to the article if you want to go seek out one of those places. And here's the full forecast. A strong storm impacting the Gulf of Alaska. Record-breaking heat expected this weekend across the Southwest. A strong system tracking eastward across the southern Bering Sea will move into the north-central Gulf of Alaska this weekend, producing snow squalls, storm-force winds, and moderate to heavy rain. Record-breaking high temperatures are forecast this weekend across the desert Southwest into the central and southern plains. Good news for us. And high temperatures are expected to reach into the upper 90s and even triple digits. But following that, a cold front will dip in, and the first major snows for the spine of the Rockies will begin Thursday, October 17th, 18th, and 19th. You see there, that is the event. Shut up, Al. Get in your hole. Al Gore is not happy with the forecast, and the snows just keep piling up in the GFS model. A magnitude 6.2 earthquake strikes off Costa Rica's Pacific coast, but it appears not to have caused any serious damage. And that's good news for those in the region that's still rattling here with aftershocks up to 4.9 magnitude. No other quakes of note, 5.3 here in Kamchatka. Normal activity worldwide. Worldwide volcano news for the 12th. Sabancaya, 22,000 feet. Fuego to 16,000. Semeru to 14. Who knew? Now you do. Reventador, 14,000 foot puff. Sabancaya to 20,000 foot. Sangay to 20,000. Fuego to 16. Semeru to 14. Manam, 8,000 foot blast. Short list today. Dukono to 8. And Ibu wrapping up the list with a 7,000 foot puff. Space weather, all is quiet across the disk. Very low level activity as far as flares, all in the sea range. This coronal hole stream may be to blame for that larger than normal earthquake off the coast of Costa Rica. How do you like them apples? 3-day geomagnetic forecast is moderating between KP 3 and 4. The James Webb spots its first ever alien steam world. This is the first time we're ever seeing something like this, according to the article, which will be linked below. And here is the press release. The finding represents a huge step forward, finding habitable planets outside of our solar system. Nearly 100 light years away, there's a planet unlike any we've seen before. The planet known as GJ9827d is roughly twice the size of Earth and has an atmosphere composed almost entirely of water vapor, according to a new study, which we will link below. Here is the paper. James Webb Space Telescope reveals the water-rich steam world atmosphere of GJ9827d. The next full moon is a super moon boom, and the hunter's moon as well. It's also called the travel moon, the dying grass moon, or the sanguine or even blood moon. We'll link you to the article below. The next full moon will be Thursday, October 17th, 2024. The comet of the century is visible tonight, and it won't return for another 80,000 years. The good news, it's not just tonight it will be visible. It will be moving higher and higher in the night sky as the week progresses. Just look west, find Venus, and look right. It's the 12th tonight, so it will be just above parallel or just above horizontal with Venus. Go out 40 minutes after sunset, just above the horizon, right of Venus. Only seen at dusk, and if you have binoculars, you're guaranteed probably to see that baby, depending on how dark it is in your region. How long are you going to live? Well, a new life expectancy map in America, well, you're looking at it right here. We'll link it below. Just check on your county. We're in Archuleta. We're in the dark blue. I hope that means good things for me. It's mind-blowing. U.S. meteorologists face death threats as hurricane conspiracies surge. And we've seen an uptick on the interwebs, Leah and I, and we're going to discuss it tonight over at Magnetic Reversal News in just a few minutes. Geoengineering, weather modification, the chemtrail conspiracy, and we'll also talk about Comet C 2023 A3 Atlas, which is visible in the night sky. We just showed you the map. Guys, we'll see you over at Magnetic Reversal News in a few minutes for quite the intriguing podcast. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please give us a thumbs up. Share the video. It will help the channel grow. Leave a comment below. It helps with the algorithm. We love you. Be safe. And we'll see you over at Magnetic Reversal News in a few minutes.